So it actually costs us 10 times less to live on a boat in Copenhagen than in an apartment. So maybe you caught our last video where we sailed the 49-foot boat that we just bought back to Copenhagen, and all of the excitement and mistakes that came along with that.
Not yet. Fuck.
We have since been living on that boat in the middle of a Scandinavian winter. It is -4 degrees and we've had about 3 or 4 centimeters of snow. And in this video, we're going to give you a comparison of the costs and the lifestyle of living on a boat versus living in an apartment in inner Copenhagen. But before we get to that, we thought we would just pause and rewind for a second to sort of set the scene on how we got to this point in the first place. Hi, I'm Tandia and this is my boyfriend August. Whilst he grew up in this corner of the world, I moved over here from Sydney, Australia almost 3 years ago for my dream job. I work in architecture as a behavioural designer. August, on the other hand, is an engineer and has been sailing professionally on the world tour for the last 8 years. We met very shortly after I arrived in Copenhagen and quickly realised that we had a lot in common. 3, 2, 1. It also didn't take long to realise that we shared a dream of sailing around the world one day. I actually took this video only 3 weeks after we had met.
Oh, before. Oh, I don't have 200,000.
He was already looking for boats. But fast forward a couple of years and we've found ourselves a cozy little apartment to rent. It's comfortable, it's warm, and it really feels like a home now. So why, I am almost asking myself, would we ever leave it? It is -4 degrees. We have 6 hours of daylight at the moment and we've had about 3 or 4 centimeters of snow, so we're completely snowed in. All of the hatches are covered. It's super dark down there. I've come up here to try and clear some of it away so that we can get some light. God, it's so slippery. Maybe, like me, you might be wondering why we've chosen to live on a sailboat in the middle of winter in Scandinavia. And to be completely honest, the only reason is that it's the best way for us to save money. Obviously, buying a boat is a huge upfront investment, but the cost of living on the boat here in Copenhagen is much, much cheaper than living in an apartment. So we have been bracing the snow and the cold and the fact that we don't actually have any water on the boat because it would freeze. God, it is going to be cold tonight. Let me show you around both the apartment that we used to rent and this new home of ours so we can compare a little bit the lifestyle, the living costs, and also what it's been looking like to live on a boat through winter. So before we moved onto the boat full time, we lived in this little 1-bedroom apartment in the inner city. It's about 55 meters squared and we have this living and dining room. We have a bedroom, a little kitchen and an absolutely tiny bathroom. On the other hand, our boat is 49 feet long. And for anyone who doesn't have a nautical understanding and also doesn't use an outdated measurement system, that is about 15 meters. Now, within those 15 meters, we have a very spacious living room, I guess, a small kitchen or galley, a main bedroom, a guest bedroom, another guest bedroom, and not just one tiny bathroom, but 2 absolutely tiny bathrooms. And the average for an apartment about this size is 2,100 euros a month, which is about 14,000 Danish kroner. And on the boat, we pay about 210 in winter and 290 in summer for the same things: harbour fees and water and electricity. Here are those numbers again in Danish kroner, Australian dollars, US dollars, pounds, and Dogecoin. So, cost of living is about the same. Quality of life is much higher on a boat, except maybe in winter. So the boat does have central heating, but we can't use it all the time, and as you can tell, this little portable heater is very noisy. At the moment we are actually sleeping in sleeping bags on here because it's so cold. We've got doonas, but we've also got sleeping bags. Mine's equipped to go down to about -5. So I was warm enough last night. I don't think August is as durable, but the only thing that is really difficult is the fact that we don't have any running water. So we have to carry all of our water onto the boat for dishes, for showering, flushing toilets, drinking, cooking. We have to get from the harbour and carry it down. There is water storage on the boat, of course, but the harbour turns off the water in winter because they don't want it to freeze. And we also didn't want to store water on the boat through winter for the same reason. So we don't have any water.
20 minutes later.
One towel is for the feet and one towel is to dry. It is -5 degrees with a wind chill of -9. Perfect morning for a swim. I basically just try and wear as many layers as possible. Like I have 3 jumpers on right now. I would never normally wear 3 jumpers, even if it's this cold. But I put on all my warmest clothes and then I cycle really fast to get here. And so I get actually really, really hot. By the time I'm here, I'm like hot and flustered and I want to take clothing off. So that really helps with like the mental element of it. The hands are always the first things to go. Maybe I'm crazy, but I love it.
You have to take a look at this. Yeah. We have a problem.
When the sun comes out like this in winter, I just find myself staring straight at it. It's probably so bad for my eyes, but I'm watching it set right now. You sort of just, it's almost like saying goodbye. You're not sure when you're gonna see it again. Could be a week, could be 2 weeks. Right now it's reflecting off the water, so I've got double sun. I think I never really appreciated the sun in quite the same way when I lived in Australia. When it comes out here, it's just the most joyous thing. But look at this is incredible. Thanks for watching, guys. In our next video, we're going to be lugging those sails back up and taking her out for her first spring sail of the year.
What's the speed?
6.9.
Wow.
Bearing in mind that all of this is still very new to me. Now we're going to take in the sails, and I know how to do this. That involves the furling line, which is...
So 1 in 5 chance you get it right.
No, we
Just by guessing.
It's this one. No, it's this one. Wait, is it this one? No, it's this one. It's this one.
And while Tandy is finding the right line, a little trick is...
Oh, you'll just have to tune in for the next one. Thanks, guys. We'll see you there.
Great.